the Artist Interrogations Podcast.
And Raditz. It is Peaches sitting down with Keith Wallen of Breaking Benjamin, also of Keith Wallen himself, having a solo project as well. We've been playing a couple of your tracks. I have the titles here because I am the worst with names. It's myself. And it's a Headspace Holiday, The Wolf, and there's one more that I'm forgetting.
There's another one called Strings.
Strings. Mm-hmm. And you have a new album out coming May, right?
May 3rd.
May 3rd. That's awesome. How do you balance Breaking Benjamin and, of course, doing your own solo stuff?
It's a little bit of extra work, but it's not too bad. I mean, basically, whenever Breaking Benjamin is not on tour and not really actively working on stuff, I take that opportunity to just hit the road and work on my own stuff and make the best use of my time. Obviously, I got to have a little bit of R&R squeezed in there, otherwise I'll go insane. But man, I just love making music. I just love to perform and get out there and meet as many people as I can and meet new fans and stuff. So it really is a blessing. I mean, I'm living the dream for real.
And for the songwriting process, just trying to figure things out. For the songwriting process for you specifically, and also for Breaking Benjamin, do you guys collaborate as a group for Breaking Benjamin songs? And then also you're just kind of like for your own stuff, do you kind of have them also listen to it and give feedback as well?
Oh, no. I pretty much, all the best ideas I take and use for myself, basically. No. Yeah, we all work together and we'll come up with different ideas and I'll kind of send it back and forth because we all live in different places. So a lot of the writing is done remotely. Obviously, whenever we get in the same room, we'll kind of, work on some stuff sometimes. We actually just finished up 2 new songs a couple weeks ago, just finished the backing vocals up for it. So 2 more songs in the can. And we're gonna probably work on some more stuff whenever we get off tour, but we're always working, man, whether we're home, whether we're on tour. Obviously, it's been a long time since we've released some new music, so we don't want to rush it, though. We want to make sure we perfect it as much as we want. We want to put our best foot forward and make the best music that we possibly can.
Absolutely. And for your own group, and do you actually just have your friends more so with that group? And then for Breaking Benjamin, of course, all those guys, is it 2 completely different groups?
Well, yes. They're all my friends. They're all my brothers.
Of course.
My road brothers. My solo band actually is comprised of our stage left guitar tech, Mike Warren, known as Cowboy, and our drum tech, Blake. So, yeah, man, it's and then I got a bass player. He lives in Vegas. So he's going to fly out and meet us, and then because we're pretty much starting a solo tour here in about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Oh, nice!
So I literally walk off stage from Breaking Benjamin and get in a van and go to the first solo show. So it's going to be interesting, but man, I love it. I mean, I really do. I live for this.
Now, is there like a completely different vibe change from one band to the other? Like it, as you differentiate roles, of course. Like you're the vocalist for
Sure.
your own group, and then for Breaking Benjamin, guitar player, backup vocalist as well.
Yeah. As far as vibe, I mean, it's just a different band. It's a different style of music. I'm a different singer. It's just a different band, but I mean the goal is still the same, and that is to melt faces. So
right, yes. For your riffs for your own stuff,
yeah.
Do you kind of just come up with that on your own, and or you're practicing with Breaking Benjamin, I want to keep this for myself, sort of thing?
Not so much that. I mean, I wouldn't say it's that devious. You made that sound so bad.
Right.
I
would.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just whenever I'm working on whatever. I think I kind of look at it just as a case by case basis. If I'm working on something that's for my stuff, I kind of have that mindset. If it's something for Breaking Benjamin, I'm like, okay, I'm in Breaking Benjamin mode. Or whatever kind of project, whether it's with a different artist or whatever. I kind of just look at it more catered to whatever the project is.
Right. And for the show tonight at the Mountain America Center, you, Daughtry, Catch Your Breath. Deciding the set list, is that all Ben, or is that you guys as a group, or do you have fans sort of let you know what songs to pick? Or
yeah, I think it's a little bit of the last 2. I think we would kind of get with Ben there the first 5 years of this new incarnation of Breaking Ben. But now we've kind of been able to kind of throw our 2 cents in and take over the kind of set list thing. And plus, the fans, we look at the streams. We look at what songs have done well, historically. I think that that factors into what we should play. And plus, we read stuff online. People want to hear certain things. But we try to play the hits and play the more album tracks that people really like, too. So have a nice little combination there.
I think thinking of the hits, I mean, people don't really realize how many hits Breaking Benjamin has. Like, I think I looked at all the tracks, and I was like, how many hits do these guys have? And I was just counting how many that I've heard, enjoyed, and all that. And I remember, like, as a very young kid playing, like, WWE Day of Reckoning, and the first song you think you hear is Firefly or Polyamorous, that song. And it's crazy that, years later, I'm now interviewing the guitarist of the band that I'd listened to as a kid.
Yeah. So that's like over 20 years ago, something like that. That was before my time. That was before I was in the band.
Yeah. And you were in what band before? Was it Adelita's Way before?
I was in that band for a short little bit. I was in another band based out of Knoxville, Tennessee, called Copper, and we opened for Breaking Ben, and then Adelita's Way opened for Breaking Ben. Now I'm in Breaking Ben, so it's a funny full circle moment there.
I think we've had Adelita's Way in here before. I was trying to figure out if that was the case, if you were a part of that, or if it was like a different time. But I think I was also reading somewhere about, like, you have written songs for other bands. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. And, like, what other bands have you written songs for?
I don't even like to say I've written songs for anybody. It's really a collaborative effort, So yeah, I've written songs with. I've done a few songs with Saint Asonia.
Okay.
Let's see. I did one with Dorothy on her album, one with We Came as Romans. I'm sure I can't think of any. Can't think of any more. I'm sure I'm leaving some out, but
that's just pretty crazy.
There's a handful, a few of them over the years. And I mean, obviously, I wrote some with Adelita's Way, and then with Breaking Ben now my solo stuff too. I like to work. I mean, especially, during the whole COVID period, there was really nothing to do but just try to write and work on music, because I mean, none of us were allowed to tour, so is anything and everything to try to take our mind off of all the doom and gloom that was going on.
Right, and even for just like the songwriting process overall, without COVID being in the way and stuff, like, how do you hone in on one song? How do you come up with the lyrical content, that sort of thing?
I mean, it could come from anything. Sometimes you just wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, that's a weird idea. And then if you're smart, you like make a little voice memo of it or something. But sometimes I'll be like, I'll remember that. I've done that before. And then you wake up and it's just so gone.
Of course.
But then I listen to some of my voice memos sometimes too. And it's just like, you can't even understand. I'm like, what is that crap? So I find that whenever I kind of, I guess, clock in, if you will, if I show up I have a home studio, I kind of have to force myself to kind of go down there. All right, I'm going to clock in. I'm going to try to write a song today. And I think that the more oftentimes you do that, I think more things will come. It's kind of it's a muscle that you got to exercise. So that's what helps me. I don't think there's any wrong way to do it. Sometimes you come up with a riff or a phrase or a melody. Sometimes I'll just start with a song title and then just kind of reverse engineer and write the song that way. So
yeah, I feel like that'd be tough to do, like, the song title first and then move on to lyrics, move on to the whole thing afterwards.
I kind of liked it. I did that for a few of the songs on this album of mine, Infinity Now, May 3rd. And I would go into writing sessions with just a song title. And I think how it helps is you already kind of almost have the concept, just from the title. And there's just, I don't know, because if you sit down, you're like, what am I going to write about? It's like endless possibilities, but with a title, it's like, okay, this kind of gives me a step in a direction, And
we talked about AI on the way over here, and like the use of AI. It's maybe silly and maybe scary too, but at the same time, like with this thing that we've been using just to create stupid songs for our show.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever just generate those songs and you're like, that lyric's actually has some potential. We could add that to one of my songs.
See, I've used Chat GPT.
Right.
And just to see, I'm like, if I'm stuck on lyrics or something, I'll be like, just for fun, I'm like, let me see what this comes up with. And I'll type in, write a song, give me song lyrics for a song that deals with, death or whatever, just, and it'll come up with the most cheesy stuff. Man.
It does.
It's like so bad, but maybe there's like a word or two in there. Like, oh, that's kind of a cool word. But that's about my extent of the use. I'm sure there's probably people that know how to kind of harness it a little better, but I don't. And I kind of like just leaning on the more human aspect of things at the moment. But
definitely,
hopefully, we don't get replaced.
I don't think so. I think there will be like that separation in the near future of like, okay, AI generated content is going to have its own page.
Yeah, let's draw the line somewhere, hopefully.
That's my big joke on the air, is talking about like a league of sports for people that just want to use steroids, without a doubt. Just have AI generated Grammy Awards, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
The Artist Interrogations podcast is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com.